Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Change by Design. This is the season finale, episode 12, The Voice That Shapes Reality. And remember, guys, on this podcast, we don't just talk about development, we remember who we are. So, we're going to dive straight into it, guys. Why the sovereign speech carries frequency, not volume. In this episode, we're going to reveal the next truth. A king's voice doesn't travel by air. It travels by alignment. When you spoke those words, when I spoke the words inside the walls, right? These walls no longer contain me. They confirm me. Because when a man reaches internal sovereignty, check this out, guys, his tone sharpens, his presence deepens, his voice carries weight that cannot be explained by physics alone. His words become architecture, shaping timelines as they're spoken. So why spiritual authority amplifies your voice without shouting? You don't speak louder, you speak truer. So on my journey on remembrance, my divine identity, guys, and my truth, it has shaped my frequency. It shaped my tone. It shaped my presence, my posture. So now people hear me, those who are ready to hear, and they can hear something ancient within me. Literally, your voice, right, your third chakra, is the gateway to creation. So when they say in the beginning was the word, they really mean that because your words are vibrations sent out in the womb of creation. So that's why if you talk negatively or any other lower frequency vibration, right? Fear, doubt, shame, anger, sadness. If you talk in those vibrations, that's just what's going to be reflected back to you. But if you speak in the vibrations of love, peace, joy, abundance, truth, then that's what will be reflected in your reality. But it always starts with your identity. And when you finally regain your sovereignty of identity, the one you had before the matrix, before the forgetting, before the fall, then it's going to sharpen your voice like a blade. Not louder, but truer. And another thing you guys have to understand is that embodiment turns speech into vibration. So while most people may talk idly, they might complain, they might gossip. Those are idle words and they won't produce anything. Meanwhile, as you elevate your frequency, then what you are now is encoded with what you say. Because you're speaking for what I call identity. When you speak from identity, these vibrations, they are actually activations. They're the blueprint that the universe uses to construct and mirror your reality back to you. So the sovereign man, the embodied one, they rarely speak just to speak. Even now, like I don't speak just to speak. I always speak with purpose, with direction, with instruction, with grace, with praise, with the ability to expand truth. And when you speak truth, that is the only language the universe responds to. So your embodiment of your divine identity sharpens your vibration. And here's another question, guys. So why does the field respond to your aligned identity? Because it responds because of identity coherence. When your thoughts, words, and deeds match your identity, that is what is reflected. It must be a union, sovereignty. One, not two, not three. You must maintain your identity throughout any environment. And then you realize that the environment is shaped towards you. Rooms feel different because you are different. I was doing a reflection last night, and it was an understanding that my life is not separate from me. And in that moment, I realized the sacred truth of all. Wherever I go, it would be mirrored based off of who I am. My consciousness, right? My consciousness is what mirrors my reality back to me. So if I see evil, if I see fear, if I see doubt or limitation, what do you think I will experience where I go? Meanwhile, if I see the abundance, the expansion, the peace, the prosperity, the growth, then everywhere I go, that will be mirrored back to me. So when we talk about speech and environmental changes, this is directly um, related to the law of correspondence. As within, so without. So now my conversations are filled with growth, fitness, health, mental health, spiritual groundedness. Literally, ever since, well, it's always been happening, but I would say the frequency has increased dramatically to where even in the idle conversations, we always circle back to truth when my presence is there. And this is what I mean by the rooms don't change, the people don't change. You change. And how they are reflected back to you, how they treat you, is always going to be directly connected to your self concept and your self belief. So, why does a sovereign man's voice become instruction for the unseen? Because, as I said earlier, guys, when the king speaks, heaven listens. But you have to know who you are. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to obey you. Why would heaven obey you when you don't even realize that you're the one projecting onto the universe? It's like telling the toddler to clean up their blocks, but they didn't realize that they was the one that made the mess in the first place. You think the toddler's going to take responsibility? You have to teach it. Yes, you have to teach. You have to teach your toddler. But let's say you don't teach your toddler. You think you're going to take responsibility on their own and say, "Okay, well, I made the mess. Let me clean it up." No. You think they're going to take a shower on their own? No. You think they're going to eat and cook their own food, make sure that they're, not eating no junk food or sugar? No. So the same way you as the parent looks at your toddler, lack of responsibility, lack of accountability, lack of remembrance, right? That's how the universe sees you when you're not acting in your divine identity. So it's going to help you. It's going to guide you. It's going to speak to you. But it will and cannot do anything else but reflect the fractured identity that you carry. Because your reality is the mirror. And your identity is the cause, the root. But when you're online, even your voice echoes throughout the unseen. This is your power, you know. You don't have to go out there and chase. There's nothing out there. I used to tell myself this when I was younger, and I didn't understand it until now. It's like, there is no outside. The world you see with your eyes is just the world you already inhabit inside your own awareness. There is no outside. That's why you always see people seek, right? You're seeking love, you're seeking friends, you're seeking money, you're seeking stability, peace. And then you go out there, like you move your physical body, you use your mind to try to think of plans, and then you use all this effort to make it happen. And then you come back and you act like you did something. When all you did was reinforce your own limitation. So that's all I'm telling you guys. The only option you really have is to remember your divine identity and work in alignment with that truth. Only then will the universe listen and it will mirror back to you. So now your voice becomes your new instrument of creation. You don't have to use your physical body, not as the cause, right? You don't have to use your will, just your voice, just your frequency. Because whatever you decree with your divine identity, it is actually activation for the universe to act. That is law, guys. It's law. It's law. So no more talking for talking's sake. No more idle words. No more gossiping. No more negative. Nothing. Every word is a seed. And you got to make sure everything you say is adding to someone. It's aligning something. It's magnifying. It's expanding. It's integrating. It's reflective. And you will get it all back multiplied. It just takes awareness. That's another key, guys. Come on. It takes awareness. Are you aware of what you're saying, why you're saying it? Are you aware of who is saying it? Is it the egoic human self? Or is it the eternal witness, the divine self? The one who always watches, never judges, loyal, waits in peace, in stillness. For the one day that you remember that you and him are actually one and the same. The only difference is you're operating on the physical plane. He's operating in the eternal and in the void, beyond time and space. So, nevertheless, guys, I hope this gave you guys this one was about giving you some more context behind why your voice shapes reality. And when you operating in a higher identity, that identity is a frequency code. And now when you speak, you emanate that frequency, which activates the universal architecture of remembrance. So if you joined this whole volume, so if you was here for volume 1 of Change by Design, I want to say I appreciate you. And I know you want to see the evolution. I know you want to see the growth. And when there's growth in me, there must be growth in you. There must be remembrance in you. So join me on volume 2, The Sovereign Architect, the Ionic King. Volume 2, guys, we're going to dive deeper into how to live as the sovereign one that you are. Until then, stay true, stay golden, keep remembering, keep aligning, and then you can go. Say it with me now. From lead to gold. I see you on the next one.